News Channel 5 encourages you to give to the Katrina Disaster Fund.
The water is finally flowing out of New Orleans, but a new storm is brewing over who's to blame for the disaster. President Bush says he will head up an investigation, while an angry local official accuses government officials of murder. Good evening, I'm Bob Schieffer. Once again, our focus tonight is the devastation on the Gulf Coast, where John Roberts is heading up our coverage.
And as water here in New Orleans recedes, fire is a growing problem. Thousands of evacuees are now spread across dozens of states. We'll take a look tonight at the incredible toll this nightmare is taking on children and on the men and women of law enforcement.
This is the CBS Evening News with Bob Schieffer.
What went wrong and what to do now? At times today, you had to wonder if official Washington and the people in the disaster area were even talking about the same problem.
What I intend to do is lead a investigation to find out what went right and what went wrong. And I'll tell you why. It's very important for us to understand the relationship between the federal government, the state government, and the local government when it comes to a major catastrophe.
In Jefferson Parish, Louisiana, the top politician there had a very different take in this interview with Harry Smith.
Bureaucracy has murdered people in the greater New Orleans area, and bureaucracy needs to stand trial before Congress today.
Back in Washington, the president said there'll be time enough to pass judgment later.
I think one of the things that people want us to do here is to play a blame game. We got to solve problems. We're problem solvers. There'll be ample time for people to figure out what went right and what went wrong.
No, said Aaron Broussard, Washington still doesn't hear us. Heads should roll, and roll now.
Take whatever idiot they have at the top of whatever agency, give me a better idiot. You know, give me a caring idiot. Give me a sensitive idiot. Just don't give me the same idiot.
And on it went through the day as the crisis remained dire. Once again, we have deployed a team of CBS News correspondents, producers, and camera crews at key locations. We begin again tonight in New Orleans with John Roberts. John?
And Bob, every day there are new problems and new challenges here. With most of the people evacuated now, the next big problem is getting rid of all this water. That process is underway now, but it is something like emptying an ocean through a straw. It is going to take weeks, but they have started. It was a sight people in this city have waited 8 days to see. Water finally flowing out of New Orleans and back into the lake that drowned it.
I'm starting to think about the possibilities now versus being immersed in death and misery and emergencies and crisis. So it's looking better.
Better, but not out of the woods yet. More fires broke out again today, this one threatening to swallow up an entire city block. There's no water in the hydrants, so helicopters attack them like forest fires, filling up in the Mississippi, dropping load after load on the flames. And the flooding here is no help. There's oil and gas in the water. Officials fear an explosion. Rescuers today stepped up their efforts to coax hundreds of people still living in the flood to come into higher ground.
We're an Air Force rescue team. We will assist you.
The USS Iwo Jima, now docked in New Orleans, is flying dozens of search and rescue missions daily. But the admiral in charge says it's a challenge.
I think a lot of these people, as you know, are convinced that the water's going to subside and we're going to get back to normalcy, and having flown around here, it's not going to happen.
3 days ago, we met Deirdre Humphrey, chest deep in the stinking brew. She was determined to tough it out. Today, we found her at an evacuation point near the convention center. Why did you decide to come out?
I couldn't, it wasn't going anywhere soon. We just couldn't live like that anymore. 8 days. We tried to tough it out. That's it. She
had flagged down rescuers, and within hours, she and her family were checked through security and on a bus to the airport.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
What she'll come back to, though, is an open question. Cleanup here will be an astronomical task. The Superdome is completely trashed inside and out. And with so many bodies still out there in the flood, potentially thousands, city officials are bracing for another catastrophe when the water goes down.
I think this nation is going to be shocked one more time when we start pulling all these bodies out of these homes.
And late this afternoon, one small piece of good news. Part of the city got a bit of running water. In a major disaster, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, is supposed to move quickly to coordinate aid for victims. But countless survivors of Hurricane Katrina, that never happened. So private citizens have taken up the slack as best they can. Cynthia Bowers is on the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
From Camp Katrina, where entire families are living in tents pitched in a sweltering parking lot, to feeding stations like this one, the cries and complaints all sound the same.
FEMA, we need FEMA. There is no FEMA set up anywhere.
It took 8 days for FEMA to open its first Mississippi-based disaster response center here in Ocean Beach. The man in charge admits the disaster was overwhelming. There seems to be the perception on the part of the people here from New Orleans all the way to Biloxi that FEMA bungled this big time. What's your response?
This was just such a huge event. Just New Orleans alone would have been probably at our peak.
As he was picking through the rubble of what used to be his Biloxi business, Vietnam vet Hayes Bolton told us he gave up on FEMA days ago.
I don't see any government organization doing the things that I've always heard about, nor what I expected.
Thank you so much.
But what no one expected was how quickly and completely everyday people would fill the gap. Big church groups are cooking up 3 meals a day for thousands of hungry souls.
Here you go, buddy boy.
All across the Gulf Coast, Good Samaritans are on the ground getting to places the government has yet to find.
What will we do when the private donations run out? I guess we'll die of starvation.
Birmingham pastor Herman Henderson says he won't let that happen. For days now, he's been running his own modest relief stand set up on the very spot he ran out of gas coming down to help. So somehow you're able to get done in a matter of days what the federal government hasn't done in a week.
Get away from the politics. There's $80 billion been already appropriated to help these people, but the money is not getting to these people.
And it could be a while before it does. FEMA told us today it is nowhere near ready to start handing out checks. In fact, it can't even get its disaster center up and running in this hard-hit city until sometime next week. Cynthia Bowers, CBS News, Biloxi, Mississippi.
The president and Congress are now talking about a $40 billion aid package for this area. But the money won't cover up the huge political battle underway over who is at fault here. Gloria Borger is tracking that tonight.
As residents of the Gulf Coast struggled to restart their lives, official Washington began its angry and accusatory finger-pointing.
We're, in God's name, we're the people who are supposed to give water, support. People were dying there. What in heaven's name was happening?
If somebody said, oh, you pick somebody to hammer, I don't know who I'd pick.
The president said he's going to lead the investigation into what went wrong. He needs to look only in the mirror.
Bureaucracy is not going to stand in the way of getting the job done for the people.
But in fact, bureaucracy may have been responsible for a devastating delay in the rescue effort. CBS's David Martin reports that while Coast Guard helicopters had been pre-positioned and were making rescues 2 hours after the hurricane, the military response was much slower.
We weren't able to go for 34 hours. Could have been, saving bodies, rescuing people.
One Air Force Reserve colonel says his unit was crippled by red tape.
We could have been airborne in 6 hours and overhead plucking out people. Between all the agencies that have a part in the approval process, it took 34 hours to get 3 of my helicopters airborne.
Congress wants answers, and today opened its own investigation.
If our system did such a poor job when there was no enemy, how would the federal, state, and local governments have coped with a terrorist attack?
But for the survivors of Hurricane Katrina, it's a much simpler question.
My big question to anybody who's trying to shift the blame is, where were you? Where in the hell were you?
And that's the question everyone here wants answered, Bob. And while they're at it, they know they're going to have to find ways to come up with a relief package of at least $150 billion, Bob.
Let me ask you this, Gloria. I mean, it seems to me there was a failure at every level of government, and it was the Congress and the president who put together this enormous Department of Homeland Security. Is there any talk now of maybe that was a bad idea, maybe we need to break it up and go back to the way we used to do it?
Oh, there sure is, Bob. While they know they only have themselves to blame, Senator Hillary Clinton today proposed taking FEMA out of the Department of Homeland Security and making the person who heads that a cabinet-level position, so that person will have some authority to get things done.
Well, that seems to be where most of the criticism is focusing. Do you think there could be some changes in the personnel in FEMA?
Well, I think FEMA Director Michael Brown has a big target on his back, Bob. There are lots of Democrats today calling for his removal, and I think you're going to hear a lot more of that. Republicans were kind of holding back a little, but they're not too fond of him either these days.
Let's go back to John Roberts. John, I want to ask you, you've been there the whole time. Is there anything now that is actually beginning to work right?
Well, Bob, there's a lot of things that are working right in terms of the relief effort. The problem is that it all got here too late. For example, when the National Guard set up a feeding station outside the convention center, the next day people were gone. They'd been starving for 4 days. The USS Iwo Jima is here now, and with its big hospital, but it's empty because there's nobody left to treat. They're still now just trying to get all of those people out of the floodwaters. But, Bob, it's kind of like they took a cannon here and are firing it down the street, and there's nothing to hit.
Okay, well, thanks to both of you. As hard as it has been for adults forced to evacuate New Orleans, for children, the sudden loss of the place they called home has been especially wrenching. Byron Pitts now with that story.
Today, across the country,
we're going to get your ID picture made.
Comfort in a classroom.
We want to welcome Bailey and we want to welcome Aaron.
That's what schools provided, a slither of sanity for those new students.
My name's Tyler Riche. I'm from New Orleans and I'm 11.
Those wounded souls.
I'm afraid they can't find my grandmother.
From New Orleans.
Okay, my name is Tyrone Smith and I am 13 years old. And I have lost my house, my dogs. It's just been horrible.
Horrible for 7 days and 7 nights.
We are gonna die out here if they do not see somebody out here right now.
135,000 children from New Orleans displaced by Hurricane Katrina.
You're not staying here.
Many may have died.
Mom's dead. Somebody push her in the water.
Many more witnessed death.
Hey, sweetie, how you holding up?
And then there are children like these two sisters, 12 and 7. They have no idea if their parents are dead or alive.
I miss my mama and my daddy.
You miss your mom and your dad.
Terrible as it's been, therapists fear the worst may not be over for the young. Adults typically express their feelings. Children suppress them. And quite frankly, right now, there's not much in New Orleans to help them. Carol Madura is FEMA's chief clinical social worker.
We give them clean clothes, we take them to the bathroom, we feed them, we try to do...
You parent them, it sounds like.
Absolutely parent them. We had a family of 3 boys who were alone in a house, water up to the attic, and we don't know where their parents are.
That's why it's so important to get these children back in school, back to a world that seems normal. A world beyond the one left behind. Byron Pitts, CBS News, New Orleans.
And coming up next, no one has been under greater stress in New Orleans than police and firefighters. How they have and have not handled it is tonight's Inside Story. But first, CBS News honors fallen heroes. Jeremy Hines. Army buddies called him Ketchup. Always smiling, you used to joke, it's hell to be gorgeous, but I've learned to live with it. He loved driving, especially the back streets of New Orleans. His dream was to open a bar there. He adored his wife, also a soldier, and they celebrated their first anniversary in Iraq. 8 weeks later, Hines was killed by enemy fire.
There will be some discomfort, but it won't hurt a bit.
Now with new Olay Regenerist Night, you can rest easy. It works during the night to increase surface cell renewal by 50% for an Olay mini lift every morning.
This is it, my time to shine. Getting better all the time. This is everything I wanted. This is it. This is just for me.
It targets only the gray hair, replaces it with subtle tones for a natural look in 5 easy minutes.
This is everything I wanted. This is just for me. Work on that left hand.
Thanks for the dress, Mom.
Simple, everyday moments can be the perfect time to talk to your kids about not smoking, so you don't have to plan a big discussion.
Look, there's a dragonfly in one of the
Just your leg?
A little moment will do just fine. Talk to your kids about not smoking.
Smoking cigarettes can hurt your game too.
They'll listen.
Don't worry, Dad. I won't.
For conversation starters, log on to philipmorrisusa.com.
Big news for dry, irritated eyes. Introducing new Clear Eyes for dry eyes. Your dry eyes get moisture that stays in for lasting relief. Wow. New Clear Eyes for dry eyes.
Looking for a fresh solution in bladder protection? Then take a look at our new improved Serenity Pads from Tenna with Odazor Plus to help prevent odors and a unique soft top sheet with multi-inlets that absorb liquid faster than ever before. Serenity feels dry. You feel fresh.
Mom doesn't do it like that. That's not the way Mom does it.
Hey, you guys getting hungry?
Hungry for something good? Healthy Choice is great tasting food you can feel good about.
You did one thing right, Dad.
Healthy Choice. Green is good.
With the military now in New Orleans and volunteer emergency workers arriving from around the country, the city's own police force is finally getting a chance to catch its breath. It is a force under enormous stress. Lee Cowan now with the inside story.
There are few people more angry or more disappointed over the lack of help from the outside than those who had to shoulder that burden all alone.
There's no police department in the history of the world has ever gone through anything like this, but guess what? We still stand and we will be here.
But barely. As many as 200 New Orleans police officers have walked off the job. Mostly the younger ones, we're told. But there are hundreds of others who are simply missing. Some of them stranded, some of them dead, perhaps. No one really knows. Others have respectfully turned in their badges to deal with personal issues. No wonder. 80% of this force lost their homes to the storm, or worse.
There are a lot of officers who have no idea where their kids are. They don't know where their wives are, their spouses are.
We got men who lost their families that's out there putting criminals in jail. We're getting in shootouts every night. They're shooting at our police cars. They tried to take me hostage.
The stress is taking its toll. 2 of his officers have already committed suicide, a breaking blow that brought the chief to his knees.
Anytime you lose a guy who wears a blue shirt, it's hard, you know, especially to that.
Who's this?
It's hardly better for the city's firefighters.
My house was 2 blocks from the break, so.
Still, they're struggling to keep the city from burning to the ground without any water, without any electricity, or reliable communications.
I'm like, no.
Officer Chuck Little took just an hour off duty to check on his home. This is what he found.
What do you do? How do you fix a house like this?
He didn't even have time to answer his own question. 5 minutes later, he was back on the job. Lee Cowan, CBS News, New Orleans.
In Washington, the Chief Justice William Rehnquist returned to the Supreme Court for the last time today as pallbearers included federal Judge John Roberts, once a law clerk for Rehnquist, and now the nominee to replace him as Chief Justice. Current members of the court waited, some with tears, at the top of the steps. The casket was carried into the court's Great Hall, where the public can pay respects before tomorrow's funeral. And the confirmation hearings for Judge Roberts, which were to begin today, have now been rescheduled. They'll begin next Monday. Just ahead tonight, uprooted and on the move, we'll look at why so many evacuees are feeling like strangers in a strange land.
It's frustrating. Just when you're ready to relax, that's when it happens. The urge to move, along with uncomfortable sensations in your legs. They're hard to describe, but they can even keep you from getting to sleep. You feel the urgent need to get up and move, just to get some relief. There's a name for it, restless leg syndrome. And if you have it, you're among the nearly 1 in 10 U.S. adults who do. Want to know more? Visit restlesslegs.com or talk to your doctor.
I'd like to redeem my credit
Okay.
Oh, Chubsy, come on. The answer's always...
No!
That's right.
Ow. No!
I'm not hearing it.
No! No! No!
Go from no to no hassle with Capital One No Hassle Rewards. There are no blackout dates on any airline, anytime.
I should have worked at Capital One!
What's in your wallet?
No!
Sifting through all that clutter got you frustrated? Need an outlet? How about two? Introducing the newest Glade Scented Oil. It's the only scented oil that comes with a nightlight and not one, but two extra outlets. Cut through the clutter with Glade Scented Oil.
Mom, I'm home.
I noticed. S.C. Johnson, a family company.
I love being the age I am. I just don't want to look it. And as it turns out, I don't have to.
Introducing Advanced Radiance, a new age-defying makeup from CoverGirl with Olay age-defying ingredients built right in. It reduces the appearance of wrinkles and fine lines and helps reveal younger-looking skin in 3 weeks.
Who says you can't look as young as you feel?
Advanced Radiance, new from Easy Breezy Beautiful CoverGirl.
1 in 4 of us over 55 has difficulty hearing here. Come in during Belltone's Better Hearing Days for a free lifestyle hearing consultation. With 65 years of hearing care experience and the latest in digital technology, Belltone can help. So call or come in now with Belltone's Better Hearing Days. Hearing again never looked or sounded so good.
In the week since the hurricane struck, gasoline prices have been rising nearly 7 cents a day. The Energy Department reported today that the nationwide average price for self-serve regular is now $3.07 a gallon. That's up nearly $1 just since Memorial Day. The hurricane disaster has resulted in mass relocations of Americans from 3 Gulf Coast states, the largest migration in decades. 21 states, Texas in particular, are already housing evacuees, and 9 more say they are prepared to take in the homeless. It's all taking a toll state by state and family by family. With that story, Mark Strassman.
We're going this way.
We're going this way, man.
This is the Alonzo family, modern-day nomads. To start over, they will go west to Los Angeles and plan never to live in New Orleans again.
I'm not going back to New Orleans. I don't want to go back to New Orleans.
Their old neighborhood, the only home they've ever known, was destroyed by flooding. They now join one of America's greatest population shifts since the Great Depression.
We don't have no choice right now but to take a chance. We don't have anything else, nothing to go back to. Ticket, please. Ticket out envelope, please.
At this bus depot in Baton Rouge, evacuees fill every outbound seat. 3,000 people a day, heading to Texas, Florida, anywhere.
And you figure you'll be there how long?
Months, years, probably. Don't know.
And an hour outside Salt Lake City, 600 evacuees wonder how long they'll stay in Utah. They're living in military barracks and surprised to be here at all.
Echo, 61 souls on board.
They were put on planes in New Orleans and only told in flight where they were heading next.
Wow. Utah, unimaginable. Because we was all looking forward to going to different places that was closer.
Very early this morning, the Alonzos arrived in Los Angeles, weary but welcomed. LA Dream Center, a California charity, paid for their plane tickets and gave them an apartment. But the Hollywood ending for this family drama is still a script in progress.
We appreciate the help and we're willing to give it a shot. People are giving us a shot here and we're willing to give it a shot to stay here if we can get on the right track.
Every day here to keep things in motion, keep things moving forward, more relief workers come in and more evacuees move out. All part of this mass migration. Tens of thousands of people moving forward any way and anywhere they can. Bob?
Thank you very much, Mark. Even as the country is dealing with the Katrina disaster, the busiest part of the hurricane season may be just starting. There are 3 storms now in the Atlantic. Ophelia, a tropical depression, is expected to be a tropical storm when it reaches Florida tomorrow with heavy rain. And we'll have more CBS News after these messages.
Measles is a game you play and then you sing a song. Mumps are something that camels have. Some have 2 months and some have 1. Chickenpox is a park where chickens have fun.
Most kids today don't have a clue about diseases adults remember, thanks to Merck scientists. We've invested billions to research heart disease and asthma. Now we're trying to make Alzheimer's, diabetes, and cancer history too. Merck, where patients come first.
How Hank Tricked the Hound by Shaw. Hank chose Shaw Unscented. Stanley applied a macho smell. There they go. Oh, Rex has picked up a scent, but only Stanley's. Because Hank seems undetectable. Good plan, Hank. Odor-free Shaw Unscented. Protection that's undetected.
We started with what you love. Heart-healthy, whole-grain bran flakes. Plump, juicy raisins. Then we made a few changes. Introducing new Post-Raisin Bran cereal bars. Great taste, heart health. That fits in your pocket.
You gelling? No telling how much I'm gelling. You gelling? You know I'm gelling. Hey, Ellen, you gelling?
I'm gelling. You want some melon?
Nah, but hey, I'm like mud gelling. I'm so gelling.
Nice.
Are you gelling yet? Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles are made from the softest gel ever created. If you and your shoes don't feel outrageously comfortable, you get your money back. Guaranteed.
I'm gelling. You're not gelling. You're so not gelling.
Are you gelling? Dr. Scholl's.
I am dedicated. I am disciplined. I am determined. And I'm a diabetic. And that's how I feel when I test with my meter, the Accu-Check Aviva.
The new Accu-Check Aviva system, designed to fill correctly and test right the first time, to make every strip count. The Accu-Check Aviva. Switch to the system that makes every strip count.
It's the all-new midsize sedan with a luxurious full-size cabin, protected by 6 airbags, standard. More interior space than Camry or Accord. The all-new 2006 Sonata, a Hyundai like you've never seen before.
Plane loads of evacuees land in Nashville. They'll be settled all through the state. We'll have a live report on News Channel 5 at 6.
We end tonight with the passing of a man familiar to generations of TV viewers. His name was Bob Denver. Some of you will remember him as Maynard G. Krebs, the beatnik allergic to work on the early 60s sitcom The Many Loves of Dobie Gillis. But for many more of you, Denver was and will always be Gilligan.
Morning, Gilligan.
Can I help, sir?
Sure you can.
What do you want me to do? I know. Sit down and shut up.
Word came today that Bob Denver died of complications from cancer at the age of 70. Gilligan lives on in reruns. And that's the news. Coming up on CBS, a special edition tonight of 48 Hours Investigates Disaster in the Delta. Tonight at 8/7 Central, I'm Bob Schieffer. Good night.
For news 24 hours a day, click on CBSNews.com. Brought to you in part by Walmart. Good jobs, good people, great opportunities. Come grow with us at Walmart. This is CBS.
I'm starting to see rays of light all throughout what we're doing.
Water is slowly being pumped out of New Orleans tonight as evacuees pour into Tennessee. We'll have a live report.
And football's not on the mind of the hundreds of people who've been to the Coliseum today. The news is now.
From your news and information leader, winner of the Emmy for News Excellence, this is News Channel 5 at 6.
Good evening, everyone. Vicki has the night off. It is slow, but progress is being made tonight in the water-covered city of New Orleans.
The big break in the levee has now been plugged, and water is slowly being pumped out of the city. Right now, about 50 to 60% of New Orleans is underwater, but it's estimated that will take weeks before all the city's streets will be dry. While crews work to get the water out, others are trying to evacuate those who are left.
Big concern right now is the gas leaks, the toxic stuff, the dead bodies, the mosquitoes, and rescuing the people that are probably holding on for dear life.
Some residents are refusing to leave. They may end up being taken out by force. Another pumping